Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Welcome to CattleCon, and it's good to see you again. We spent a lot of time together in the past, but would you mind introducing yourself?
So I'm Sam Werth. I'm the Executive Director with U.S. Roundtable for Sustainable Beef and alumni out of the Clear Center.
Yes, for sure. And I'm excited to see you. I'm Frank Mitloehner and Director of the Clear Center, asking you a couple of questions about U.S. Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. What do you focus on in your work?
Oh man, full scope sustainability. So the Roundtable was founded in 2015 with 94 founding members from cattle producers all the way through retail food service companies with a common goal in mind of defining sustainability for the beef industry in the U.S. Today we now have 140 members, and our focus areas are around what we call 6 high priority indicators of sustainability. So I do work across air and greenhouse gas emissions, land resources, water resources, animal health and well-being, employee safety and well-being, and then efficiency and yield. So those are kind of our guiding 3 pillars. Sustainability kind of expanded out into the areas of action where we can be doing a lot by each sector.
I think that's great, because I always felt that these 3 areas that are generally considered, like the environment and economics and ecology, that they are too narrow. So I'm glad that you are casting a broader net. We've seen a lot of companies and CPGs set big sustainability goals, as you well know, as has US RSB. Can you share with us those goals and explain what they mean? Yeah,
so I mentioned the 6 high priority indicators. We have an overarching goal for the industry across each indicator area. So as an example, the air and greenhouse gas overarching goal is to achieve climate neutrality by 2040 for the beef industry. And then within each goal area, we actually have sector targets. So cow-calf has their own target of an area where they're working towards the overarching goal under each of those areas. Feed yards have their own goals, auction markets have their own, and so do retail food service and packer processor. So everyone is doing something a little different. I think the area we've been most focused in currently is the area of grazing management plans. That's a big area that the cow-calf sector has determined is an opportunity for them to figure out how to build resilience in their operations. And that simultaneously works further down the supply chain because we can leverage those grazing management plans and the activities that are happening on ranches to help support corporate goals.
Yeah, okay. So how do you anticipate working toward these goals?
A lot of it is building partnerships and kind of helping to bridge the gap between, those CPG sort of goals you mentioned and what producers can feasibly do on the ground. So looking to do a lot of different partnerships. We earlier last year partnered with the Foundation for Food and Ag Research to develop a sustainable beef research roadmap. So we hosted a workshop with about 80 people from across the industry to kind of dive into that topic, and we're working now to get that finalized roadmap out. And that'll focus more on air, land, and water goals, and what's the research needs that we have so that we can actually start making progress. So that's a big area.
So when you think of sustainability, when I think of sustainability, we might have ideas of, what that is all about. When you think of your constituents, what is on their mind when they hear that term?
It changes. It's changed even in the 3 years I've been in this role, but I think first and foremost, if we're thinking about the producers, it's how do we optimize our resources to have the most output and profit that we can. So thinking about how do we do the best we can with what we have available so that we can keep doing it for forever. And then if we think further down the supply chain, the shift is it's always on quality and safety first, and then it's thinking about emissions and what can we be doing to reduce emissions, and what can we be doing to benefit kind of landscapes and biodiversity.
So these are the producer constituents, I would say, right? Yeah. Ranchers and farmers. Yeah. How about other constituents? Let's say CPGs or something.
Yeah, so like we work a lot with retailers and food service companies, and their priorities are really around how can they support producers to be taking the best care they can of their land. A lot of that is tracks back to climate commitments. And we're starting to see a shift there, though, where there's also an emphasis on what about water and water use, and what about biodiversity, and how do we get a more clear, full picture of sustainability rather than that carbon myopia. So we're starting to see a trend away from just carbon and really thinking full picture.
I think that's so important because we've been so myopic around this one topic, learning that there are other issues that are as important. Let's say, if I were to talk to 1,000 farmers and ranchers in California about sustainability, the environmental sustainability would not be the number one. The financial would be, but the number two would be workers. Attracting and retaining a qualified workforce is such an important topic. And I'm excited that you guys have included that in your overall, what do you call those, objectives or?
Indicators, sustainability indicators.
Okay. What excites you the most about sustainability and the road that you guys have started to go down?
For me, I think it's the Roundtable is headed towards working more on supporting research needs, and that's my background, so I love that. I like the idea of getting more quantifiable data and information that can help support us making the best decisions we can. It's never boring.
Never boring, never a dull
Always
moment.
something new to work on, so I love that piece of it too, that I get to constantly be learning and hearing from different perspectives.
So you must have very good people skills, dealing with all these different opinions and all these different
I hope
personalities
so.
and characters out there.
Hope so.
Yeah. No, this is an important part of my work too. You know? Dealing with people, right?
Yeah, it is. It's
what...
mostly people. It's primarily people. I'm lucky the days I get to see a cow.
So when you think of the United States and your particular role, what makes your role and your position unique?
I'm able to work in a space where I'm truly connecting every piece of the industry. I think that there's a lot of people operating in sustainability in their respective silos. And I have the opportunity in this role not only to connect the beef supply chain, but to think about how in the U.S., but think about how the global supply chain connects into the U.S. supply chain, how we work together there to amplify beef sustainability on a larger scale. I also get to work with the feed industry a lot. I get to work with iFeeder. I get to do a lot with like dairy and different groups where we're dealing with similar issues in maybe a different way, but we get to work together and think about how do we actually truly build a sustainable food system.
Well, I can tell you what makes me excited. What makes me really excited is that you ended up in this job, because I think it's the right person, at the right time, at the right place. So I'm super happy about this, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So with that, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.